They're big for a Big West team this year. This is going to be a good test for UCLA here in the non-con.
Bruins 4-1, Titans 1-4 just picked up their first win of the season, their first home game. Victory over Idaho State on Monday night.
I need to congratulate Dedrick Taylor becoming the all-time winningest coach in Cal State Fullerton history.
Past Bob Burton with 156 and counting now in his 12th season. A down low, Vicentin. Andrews trying to dig it out. Short clock here, 6-5. Keith Richard off the bounce.
With all this depth UCLA has, we keep talking about the defense. If you're not guarding, Mick Cronin's going to find somebody who is. And that's become apparent here in the first 5 games, that if you're missing assignments, if you're not engaged and you're not up and into it defensively, he's going to go find somebody on that bench that'll come in and do it.
Already they've held 3 opponents to 50 points or fewer. Bilodeau picks up right where he left off. A 3-point chance to begin the night for UCLA.
They start their offense with him. That doesn't mean he gets shots every time, but there's an emphasis to get it to him on that mid-post or in action like that screen roll game. And he just slips it. He goes over like he's going to set, slips it, easy dunk. But Bilodeau, a good offensive player, and a good sign for UCLA that he got it going from behind the 3-point line the other night. As we mentioned, 4 for 4. He's hard to guard, JB, because he's a real inside-out threat. They can throw it into him on the block or that mid-post area, but he can also step out and knock down 3.
Cooper knocked off the ball. There's another steal. Kobe Johnson. A couple of takeaways so far for UCLA. They cough it right back up. Richard on a race to the rim.
See, this is what I'm saying. Fullerton, athletic, and they play hard. So if you're loose with the ball, Fullerton's going to take it. Kobe Johnson gets the steal and then gives it right back.
Bilodeau, bottom.
Sometimes it's one shot, sometimes it's one game, and I have a feeling Bilodeau, not that he's going to make them all, but he needed that game the other night to get back on track with his confidence. Shot that one very confidently.
4 for 4 from behind the arc, something that only Tiger Campbell and Aaron Holiday have done recently here in Westwood. Shoot that many threes and connect on all of them.
Cal State Fullerton runs some interesting offense. A lot of cross-screen, down-screen stuff that you don't see very much anymore, but effective.
Zachary Vicentin with the bucket.
Too easy down there. Vicentin, left shoulder jump hook with no resistance.
Fronting Bilodeau are the Titans on this trip.
Which we saw that some the other night when Will Kyle was in the game for UCLA. High-low action. Bilodeau and Kyle inverted on 2 back-to-back possessions. Bilodeau low one time, high on the next. I think we're going to see a lot more of that as this season goes on.
We'll chat with Mick Cronin before the game. He's seeking the first 5-1 start for UCLA since a couple of years ago in the 21-22 season. His group shooting it really well at the line so far, 81% as a team. Bilodeau missed the first, but Johnson connects.
Listen, this is no knock on last year's team, but this is a major upgrade in talent and experience this year. And I think UCLA fans need to understand that when you bring in this many new players, it doesn't happen overnight. But you have to trust that Mick Cronin's going to figure this out. Again, defensively, they're already really good. This offense is going to catch up with it. UCLA is going to be a contender in the Big Ten Conference this year.
Rolo Rudolph with the post entry. Bilodeau guards Vicentin. 10 to shoot. Baseline attack. And a nice right hand from Keith Richard.
Mistake there by UCLA. Bilodeau is in back of the post. Playing in back of the post. Straight line drive for Richard. Easy deuce.
Neither team has missed from the floor. They've combined to hit all 5 of their shots. Andrews rejects the Bilodeau screen. Shot fake. Tees up the 3. Dylan Andrews.
Here's what I like about that play, JB. Bilodeau could have shot that shot. Nobody would have said a word, but he pulled it down, put it on the deck, made the extra pass to Andrews for an even better shot. And those are the things I'm talking about is players play more with each other and understand each other. More plays like that for easier offense. Good sign for Andrews to knock down his first 3, too.
No, Bilodeau did that the other night, too. After he had hit his 4, he made the extra pass to Trent Perry, who got the 3. And that might have been my favorite play of the night.
A lot of guys that are 5 for their last 5 are going to make sure they shoot that one.
Andrews, the unselfish pass, and Eric Daly Jr. rips it down.
They're just more athletic this year, whether they're picking up full and pressuring or not. Turnovers and long rebounds have to lead to runouts and easy offense daily with the big-time finish.
Cooper slaloming through, had it knocked away.
Well, again, another unselfish play, though, here. Watch Kobe Johnson. Throws it ahead, and Andrews could have taken that and scored, but he saw Daly trailing. And instead of an Andrews layup, you get a Daly dunk. Get this crowd into the game.
UCLA running top 25 nationally in turnovers created. Already a handful here against the visiting Titans, who were picked 10th in the Big West. Sending off the baseline entry. Davis Bynum is into the game for the visitors.
One blemish the other night in the Idaho State game for UCLA, gave up a few too many offensive rebounds to the smaller Idaho State. UCLA's got to understand, you got to finish defensive possessions by clearing your own board.
Senton lowers the shoulder, and Bilodeau holds his ground.
Good individual defense there from Bilodeau. Oh yeah, let that one fly.
Trail 3 off the front iron. Long rebound out to Sky Clark. Andrews feeds the wing. Daly got the dunk, but not the 3. And the Titans will have it when we continue.
UCLA's defense has been really good again here to start. Up early here, Pauly.
McKernan and UCLA out to an early 11-6 lead here at Pauley Pavilion against the visiting Fullerton Titans, guided by Dedrick Taylor, the only coach in program history to take the Titans to 2 NCAA tournament appearances. You and I remember back when he was with Herb Sendek in Tempe at ASU.
Yeah, I've known Dedrick for a long time, have a lot of respect for him, and he does what any mid-major has to do, and that's run the gauntlet in November, December of playing high major teams and kind of take your lumps. They've already played at Grand Canyon, at Stanford, at Colorado, at Oregon State, and then they're here tonight.
Sebastian Mack into the game and making an early impression. Could not finish. Donovan O'Day with the basketball.
Well,
he steps on it.
That pressure after dead balls and free throw makes has been really good. And if you don't have a real point guard like Fullerton doesn't, I mean, Randolph is a point guard but very young, freshman. This full court pressure defense of UCLA can be lethal. We've seen it already so far this year. Just take small leads into big leads in a hurry.
O'Day shooting the first foul shots of the night for the Titans. He's coming off a career game, matched his career best 16 points on 6 of 12 shooting, and a perfect 3 for 3 from the arc. Playing off the bench tonight, the junior from Arlington, Texas.
See that a lot now in the non-conference, JB. These teams come out to California and don't just play one game, they play 2. So Idaho State comes out, plays Fullerton, then plays Fullerton, then plays UCLA. Kind of interesting.
Only about a 90-minute drive, depending on traffic, of course. Yeah. Johnson left alone. Takes the long 2, Kobe Johnson.
I think he's the one guy. You get the sense in watching Kobe Johnson, JB, that he's trying to just feel his way, trying to figure out where he's going to get shots. Should he take shots? Should he pass them up? And I think the more this goes on, the more comfortable he will get. Because he's proven to be a reliable shooter, just hasn't shot a lot here early in the season for UCLA.
I hear you saying that in a very complimentary fashion, right? That he's malleable, he can wait to see what is most needed.
He's kind of feeling his way into this offense. You know, we're 5 games in, and he could be more aggressive, I feel like, if he wanted to. Kind of a miscommunication by the Fullerton defense there, and he knocks it in. But I just think he's a microcosm of this UCLA team as a whole. Like, the more this goes on, the more the offense is going to look better.
Another steal, right on cue. Kobe Johnson with numbers. He'll call his own.
That's what he does. He's so good. He's got great feel defensively to jump passing lanes, when to go, when not to go, when to dig down strip balls as a secondary defender. He's obviously got the measurables and the athletic tools to be a really good defender, but really smart defender as well.
You and I loved watching the career here in Westwood of Jalen Clark. Mick Cronin paid Kobe a huge compliment before he'd even played a day as a Bruin, said he's the best defensive player I've ever coached.
Yeah, that's high praise because Jalen Clark was Defensive Player of the Year in the Pac-12, and just he was like Deion Sanders shut down corner. Like whoever he was guarding just did not score. And I feel like Kobe Johnson, Big Ten people and Big Ten fans are going to realize the more this goes along and just how elite defensively Kobe Johnson is on the ball.
Ball movement here from the Bruins. They've got William Kyle III in the game along with Sebastian Mack here. Two-man game at the top, 10 to shoot.
Well, Mack 15 to 16 from the line the other night. It's interesting, you and I know this having watched him last year. Sebastian Mack very good at drawing fouls and selling fouls and getting the whistle from the officials, but as last year went on, he started to get less and less calls. So now we're in a new conference, different officials. Is the same thing going to happen this year? We're going to find out.
I think the best thing that could happen to Mack, and it happened the other night, is both Daly and Bilodeau spacing the floor.
That too.
Hitting threes.
That's right. Floor was more wide open, more driving lanes.
5-second violation.
But you understand what I'm saying. It's almost like Pac-12 officials last year caught on to his ability to sell and draw fouls so that he didn't get as many the back half of the season. You just wonder if that's the same this year. Maybe not, and maybe he's gotten bigger and stronger and able to get through even more contact so he doesn't have to sell it as much as he did early last year.
He and Mick both talked after the win earlier this week about the fact that he could have transferred. That happens a lot. You recruit this level of guard depth, he maybe sees his way out and said double down on the agreement and the plan that he and Mick Cronin had set in place.
Well, and I think Sebastian Mack has worked on his approach to the game in the sense that you can't be a driver every time. There's got to be balance. You have to balance that drive game that he has with the ability to make perimeter shots.
He does have an uncanny knack for getting 2 feet in the lane, though. Richard the other way, no numbers. Ode on the attack. Mack wanted to charge, instead it's a block.
That's a good call. He hadn't established a legal guarding position yet. It looked like he was gonna. It's still on the move. Good to see our old friend Mike Reed here tonight, one of the officials.
Tommy Nunez and Scott
Brown, yeah.
Fullerton without a field goal since 17-26 after a fast start. UCLA has ratcheted up its defense.
Well, here's what I said. I said this the other night, JB. Like, there's so much depth on this UCLA roster that guys are still playing for minutes. Like, even if you're getting whatever the rotation is now, as Daly knocks down the three, like, there's a lot of competition right now. 4 minutes. And so you have to perform every night that you're out here to either keep your rotation or earn more minutes in the rotation.
Saw Daly get a dunk early. Now the lefty three to push the lead to double digits. Basketball on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Continue to celebrate the life and legacy of Bill Walton, some of the other luminaries here in Westwood, including our very own Don McClain.
That was 6'10", 210. It's not 6'10", 210 anymore, unfortunately.
Life has beaten you down, huh?
That's right.
Okay, well.
Or it hasn't. Maybe I've just enjoyed life. There's that full court pressure again. Let's see if Cal State Fullerton and Dedrick Taylor can design something to alleviate some of the ball pressure involved with it.
Wow, Richard able to spin that one up and in. That ends a 7-0 UCLA run. Fullerton now with 9. They've got 10 points and 7 turnovers.
I would say this, JB, if Cal State Fullerton can keep it close and give themselves a chance to win, it's really going to come down to whether they can beat that pressure and not turn it over. The fact that they're only down 8 and they've had 7 turnovers tells you if they stop turning it over, you got a chance to really stay in this game.
Daly in a deep possession, whirling back to that left hand. That's a good stop by the Titans.
Play hard, man. Physical, always.
mentioned they've taken their lumps so far, but this is kind of their last upper echelon challenge on the schedule. They'll kind of get back to their level of competition next.
It's a little different, though, isn't it, though? A lot of these guys coming in here from Fullerton into Poly Pavilion. You mentioned 90 minutes away. I think every non-conference team, but especially one from California, really gets up to come in here to Poly and play UCLA.
Richard with that corner three. He's been recovering from shin splint surgery. Three-point chance at the other end for Sky Clark.
Well, he's one guy that needs to get going, too, I feel like. Playing 24 minutes a game, only 5 points. But kind of like Kobe Johnson, I think letting the game come to him a little bit more, trying to get more guys involved. But he has the ability, like a lot of guys on this UCLA team, to explode. At 36 against Louisville, I believe, last year at the end of the year. So he can get it going, but just hasn't really had that one possession, one game, one half that I was talking about earlier, but I feel like it's coming.
LA products, a year at Illinois, another at Louisville. It was the ACC tournament game against NC
that was
State.
NC State, that's what I was talking about. Sorry, I confused the two.
Big night at the end of his season before becoming a Bruin. Something's clicked offensively for the Titans.
Again, this action, this is semi-transition, just establishing position deep. Can't do anything.
Lazar Stefanovic, a quick exit.
Yeah, when he gets that deep, either foul him or let him score. Don't do both. Foul him while he's scoring.
Sean Mikey Square, the Titans' lone returning consistent starter from last season when he averaged only 5 points per game. A much bigger role with this group. So after the 7-0 burst from the Bruins, 8 of the last 10 belong to the Titans. Mack hangs but cannot hit.
Dedrick Taylor has to be pleased with this start. Doesn't like the turnovers, but only down 4, just over 9 minutes of this first half.
23 and 22 are great years for this program. Took a step back last year because of some injury obstacles.
A lot of injuries.
And as is often the case, you have a player like Max Jones, who transferred to Kansas State in the offseason after leading this program in scoring at better than 15 per night. They're also without Jalen Cooper, who tore his ACL after 20 games.
I don't know why I always think about this when we do a team from the Big West. And I still don't like it, but it's never going to change. The fact that you can win the regular season. You go undefeated in the regular season, but you don't go to the NCAA tournament unless you win the conference tournament. Just doesn't seem right. And I don't know what the solution is, but just you don't reward having a great regular season in that conference because it's a one-bid league every year.
Well, the Titans have put themselves in that final game, though. They've been in the Big West Championship game 4 of the last 6 tournaments. Zion Richardson draws the whistle. Goes against Eric Daly Jr.
UCLA's got to understand the scouting report a little bit better. Fullerton under 30% from 3, and I don't think going to be a great three-point shooting team, but they're athletic and they drive it. And that's where UCLA's picked up these fouls is on the drive. Maybe you short close a little bit until Cal State Fullerton can prove that they can consistently knock down threes in this game.
Bilodeau in to replace him in the Bruins lineup. Just what you said, Don, there.
Yeah.
Force him to take a 3, one and done. Daly, everything but the buckets. An empty trip for UCLA. A deflection by Johnson, a double deflection. He gets possession. Invite you to experience the expanded Big Ten Conference like never before with Big Ten Plus. Stream thousands of non-televised live events across the Big Ten, plus enjoy next day game replays for every Big Ten game. Subscribe right now at BigTenPlus.com. Using the right hand on the left side, Sebastian Mack.
Idaho State didn't read the scouting report the other night, and Cal State Fullerton, he's driving, at least for now. And so if you don't bring a second defender to rotate over, that's what's going to happen. He's either going to lay it up or you're going to put him on the foul line.
Zion Richardson, a senior, breaking that full court pressure. They shave 10 off the shot clock before the Titans settle in. Caleb Brown on the bounce here. Rejected by Kobe Johnson.
And that's another one of those plays, just a high IQ defensively. Kobe Johnson won't get credit for the steal, but deflection led to the turnover.
Brown using the shot fake and the finger roll.
Brother plays for the Los Angeles Clippers down the road. Same body type as well, but skill. And not just big body banger. Got some skill, can put it on the deck, can shoot it a little bit. Similar to his brother.
Spent 3 seasons at Missouri. Johnson turns the corner. Jump stop in the lane. Using the pivot foot to finish.
Nice job switching it to the left. Would have gotten blocked had that ball stayed in his right hand. Put it in the left, easy layup.
So the Titans are shooting 64% from the floor. UCLA, 56%.
I expected more of a defensive battle in this one. The percentage is not that high, but it's Kobe Johnson on the drive. Gets to 2 feet here. Stays in the right, may have gotten blocked, goes back to the left, finishes the play.
Well, Rudolph to throw it into the baseline. A freshman guard. Have been taking some of the ball handling off his plate against this ferocious UCLA defense. Donovan O'Day seeing 2 defenders.
Seeing more and more of that offensive basketball where they identify mismatches, get to that mid post with their back turned and try and bully ball it.
Rare offensive rebound. Bilodeau lost the handle, and we're going the other way. Second on John Mikey Square.
The reason why you would do that is make the defense make decisions. If I find a mismatch, I dribble it down to the mid post, turn my back to the defender. If no help comes, I got a one-on-one situation, try and score. But you're really making them make a decision to bring the second defender. So now you put them in rotation off of the kick out to the perimeter.
I know you
a lot more teams are doing that now.
I know you liked when Bilodeau got mid-post touches the other night.
Yep. And he'll get better at reading what the defense is doing.
Foul starting to pile up now on Fullerton. That's their 6th. Still down 8 against UCLA first half. Done 6 UCLA steals so far, 11 points off turnovers.
And this isn't surprising. I think we have a big enough sample size now, 5 games in, that this is who UCLA is going to be with their athleticism, swarming, whether it's picking up full and trapping or in the half court. They have a lot of good individual defenders. The team defense will continue to evolve, but Kobe Johnson's got 4 of those 6 steals. Off to a really good start.
To hear Mick Cronin tell it, that trip to Las Vegas served an important purpose, not just on the floor here on game night, but behind the scenes in practice too.
We can look at all the numbers we want since that game against New Mexico. It just looks different. It does. The last 2.5 games here, they're more engaged, they're more intense, and they're creating more havoc with their athleticism.
Once again, a top 15 team efficiency. National rankings. Mick Cronin's teams have led the Pac-12 conference in scoring defense the last 3 years. Let's see if they can do the same in the Big Ten. Bilodeau with an offensive rebound off the Clark miss. Reset to 20.
See Bilodeau try and score that. He's done the work to get the offensive rebound. Put the pressure on the defense, trying to put it back in.
Perry with the skip pass. Mack with 5 to shoot. Off the shot fake. Creating for himself, no bucket, a rebound to Bynum.
It's interesting. Cal State Fullerton, we were talking to Dedrick Taylor, he likes their size. And you look out there, they're not that big, but they're actually big for a Big West team. So that's kind of the difference between a conference like the Big West and the Big Ten is size and athleticism. Not so much the athleticism, but the size. Positional size.
Sky Clark with the contest there to make the Titans miss. There's freshman Trent Perry seeing two defenders. And turns it over.
State got caught in the corner with two guys on him.
O'Day with an acrobatic finish.
Well, those are mistakes Trent Perry's got to play through. You know, he's just a freshman. He will learn. But smart play by Cal State Fullerton to trap him once he started going towards the corner.
Lead trimmed to 6 now for the Bruins. Play through Bilodeau. Clark gives it back. Bilodeau rinses it with the right hand.
Well, they started the game with that slip screen. That time, I think he was actually going to screen and read it and slipped it and got a dunk off of it. Nice play, nice delivery by Clark.
They breaks the timeline, able to drop it off to Zion Richardson.
See, that's what I'm saying. If you're UCLA, you live with those three-point attempts. And then if they start going, you can adjust. But here's Bilodeau. He's gonna give it to Clark, follow his pass, chase it. See, he was gonna set it, slips out of there. No rotation from Fullerton. Easy dunk for Bilodeau.
Fullerton will show a variety of screen roll coverages, won't they, on defense, Dom?
Yeah, on tape, you saw them blitzing it, sending it to the side, and then playing back. Drop coverage.
Bynum got it. Davis Bynum, 6'9" and a freshman from Illinois.
They are doing just enough to hang around here, aren't they? Down 5. Give them credit, because at the start it looked like UCLA was going to bust this thing open.
Hudson cut off on the baseline. Dylan Andrews does not have the answer. Perry scrapping for an extra, lays it off to Johnson.
Nice play by Perry. The effort to get to that 50-50 ball, and then instead of trying to score, drops it off to Johnson for the easy layup.
To your point, Don, a one-possession game in part because Fullerton has shot 53% from the floor to overcome their early miscues. Bynum, ooh, that close to tying it up. Johnson battling through a deflection. Now a broken sequence. Andrews gets a clean look.
Too much time. Slowed it down because no one was around him. Young players make that mistake all the time. Use the same cadence. Just because no one's around, shoot it how you would shoot it if somebody was closing out on you. Different shot when you slow the release down.
Freddie Cooper on a drive to nowhere. 10 to shoot for Keith Richard. The freshman Perry defending. Crossed him over. Mid-range. Off the heel. Offensive rebound, Cooper. Threw it up before he traveled, and Bilodeau fouled on the rebound.
Free throws for UCLA.
Going the other way to shoot. 34 shoot. Let's go. Down here.
We invite you to stay connected to Men's Hoops on social media. Follow at B1GMBBall on X, and then follow at B1GMBB on YouTube and Instagram to get immediate access to the best highlights, features, and teams you love. As Don said, Fullerton over the limit, so Perry to the bench as Bilodeau shoots a 1-and-1.
Such valuable minutes for Perry, though, in non-stressful situations. And he got more of an opportunity because Dylan Andrews was out for those 2 games. But getting a chance to work out the freshman stuff, if you will.
Foul line has not been friendly to the Bruins. 3 of 7. That was a hallmark coming in for the first month of the season. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Bynum had it deflected. No finish from Vicentin, who's still down behind the play. 5 on 3. Andrews threads the needle. Eric Daly Jr. lays it in and will attend to the injured Titans. Fullerton got within a possession of UCLA, but they've expanded their lead with 2 Titans shaken up. It's Fullerton freshman Davis Bynum retreating to the locker room with 3:44 to go before the half. He ran into the knee of teammate Zachary Vicentin as he spilled to the floor.
Unfortunate. Just one of those things that happens when playing off balance, falling to the ground. hope he's okay.
Vicentin also shaken
What
up.
about Vicentin's knee? Looked like it hyperextended a little bit when Bynum's head hit it.
So a starter and a key rotation piece for Taylor.
That's a lot of their size too, JB. Something to keep an eye on as we head towards halftime and into the second half. Will Cal State Fullerton have enough size to deal with UCLA now? Those two don't come back.
Lions have led by as many as 10 in this half. The Titans got it back to a one-possession game. Missed a three to tie it up, in fact. Richard sends it to the top. Caleb Brown trying to rotate it. Short clock situation for the Titans. Brown against Daly. Step back three. One and done for Fullerton. Clark spins out, finds Bilodeau. Foul on the pass. UCLA has 9 assists on 13 made field goals.
That's something that the opposition's probably going to pick up on. As Bilodeau slips that screen more than he sets it. That's the third time tonight.
See if he can dial it in at the foul line. 1 of 3 so far on the three-point line, where he was so great the other night, but he's missed both of his free throws. Coming up at the half, we'll send it to Ashley, Seth, and Steven in our Chicago studios for the halftime report presented by State Farm. That is for Bilodeau. Second one coming, up 10 again. I was talking about shoot-around today. He was recounting how Tyler Bilodeau was a 5'11" freshman in high school, still kind of focused on hockey like his father. Didn't really lock into hoops and make varsity until later in his career, but finished as the player of the year in the state of Washington.
Not surprised he's having the success he's having this year here at UCLA. He made a major jump last year at Oregon State from freshman year to sophomore year, becoming one of the better players in the Pac-12 last year. And has made another jump, I feel like, here in being one of the main guys. Not that he wasn't a main guy at Oregon State, but just a different role in being counted on to score instead of just contributing to scoring. And if UCLA is going to achieve this year, they're going to need Bilodeau to be consistently productive on the offensive end.
Do you think he's their leading scorer at year's end?
Yes, I do. Unless it becomes where whoever they're playing, the opposition says, you know what, we'll live with other guys beating us, but Bilodeau's not going to beat us and just completely take him out.
Sweet pull-up there for the baseline. Freddie Cooper connects.
But I just think UCLA's got too many other guys for a team to take that risk of just loading up on Bilodeau.
Andrews missed the three. Again, he got the start tonight after coming off the bench midweek. Richard comes up short. Rudolph battling for the board, sends it back to the perimeter. Good looks for Freddie Cooper and the Titans, but another empty possession.
Johnson's had a really good first half. I'm going to say his best half as a UCLA Bruin so far.
That was his first miss after making his first 4 shots, but I know that's not just why you're saying it.
He affects the game in so many ways. The steals, the rebounds, defensively.
Kendrick DeLuna's in the game. Far side block. Cooper another pull-up. Weak side rebound to Kobe.
See where UCLA goes there. I feel like this has been one of the few true half-court possessions offensively for UCLA tonight.
Sky Clark off the Bilodeau screen.
He actually set it that time.
Kobe Johnson gets it back and is fouled shooting. Was it 3? Clearly undercut.
Throws it in. Strong side double, which we saw that the other night. You don't see that very often where the guy guarding the guy with the ball throws it into the post and that defender goes and doubles. Because it's easy just to throw it right back to him.
They need 3 free throws.
And I think UCLA, with what they'll start to do, if that continues where they throw it into Bilodeau and strong side double comes, clear the side. So the rotation would have to come from a long way to get back to that shooter, because it's almost impossible for the guy to double the post and then get back to the shooter. So it's got to be another guy. So if you overload the weak side, there ain't nobody coming.
Since Kobe Johnson has played for both universities, it is USC-UCLA weekend on the
It is.
You going to the Rose Bowl tomorrow? Watch it on TV.
I'll watch it on TV.
UCLA gets it back.
Again, this was a concern to Dedrick Taylor, was this full court pressure. UCLA and Cal State Fullerton being able to handle it. The last place you want to catch it is in that corner. So they got to figure out a way to get guys open more in the middle of the floor, not in the deep corners. It's almost a guaranteed turnover. You got two defenders, you got sideline, you got baseline. So it's basically 4-on-1 when you catch it in that corner, that deep.
Run a screen for Daly down deep. Double bonus situation now for Daly and UCLA. I think opponents just know they're in for a stressful night when they come to Pauley Pavilion. Nothing is going to be easily won, not even position on the floor, much less their shots. Suddenly, Fullerton's shooting percentage has plummeted down to 37. They're right around 60 for the better part of this first half.
Well, and that's the thing what I was getting at off the top with UCLA. If you struggle to shoot from behind the line, the three-point line, your offense becomes so much more difficult because the defense isn't concerned about closing all the way out to the line. So everything gets packed in, and the defense shrinks the court. Now where do you go? Everything's contested.
Daly's UCLA career off to a great start. He shot nearly 50% in Stillwater last year, 33% from behind the arc. I think he's built on that as a Bruin.
One of those jack-of-all-trade guys. Not really great at anything, but good at a lot of things and affects winning.
Just lead of the game opened up by the Bruins in the final minute of the first session. Caleb Brown on the face-up, dead on the dribble. 8 to shoot in the hands of Antoine Robinson. Over the top of Kyle, nearly missed it all. No reset, shot clock violation.
Randolph, freshman guard, we were talking to Dedrick Taylor, and that was the one thing he said about Randolph. Everything's too fast. You're sped up when you're a freshman. You got to catch up to the game and let the game slow down for you. That was one of those moments where because he was going so fast, didn't realize there was no reset of the shot clock.
Dylan Andrews will bring it up. He's only 1 of 4 shooting, does have 3 assists. Returning to the starting lineup tonight. See if the Bruins can get to the halftime locker room with the final shot. In the hands of Clark. Back to Andrews. Rising for 3. Bounces off front iron. Caleb Brown with 10 seconds. Pulls up from across midcourt. And they go to the half at 39-25, with the Bruins ending that session on a 19-9.
Yeah, good bird, 12 in that first half. We know he impacts the game on the defensive end. And I feel like just a matter of time before he settles in offensively. Best half of the year so far for Kobe Johnson in that first half.
Dylan Andrews initiates the offense in the backcourt with Sky Clark. Here's Bilodeau on the dribble handoff. Down low, Tyler Bilodeau, Oregon State transfer, could not cash in.
Got to go quick on that. I don't know why he waited. He should have caught it, finished it. Defender caught up to the play when he hesitated.
Zachary Vicentin setting the screen here was shaken up. 4-minute mark in that first half. Returns to the game and a pin by Bailey. No shot clock reset from the corner, Cooper.
Rare that Kobe Johnson gets blown by, but the rotation over by Daly and the big-time block.
Cruises in, can't hit the lefty layup, but the offensive rebound is there for Daly, who's fouled.
Like that sequence right there, JB, is kind of what I'm saying with Daly. He does all these different things to help you win games. He rotates on this one and gets the block. Well, that was after that, and then running in transition. Offensive rebound gets to the foul line.
father played at TCU and overseas for a decade. His mother played at Texas and has coached at some high levels as well.
One of those guys you look up, you know, you're watching the game and you're not looking at the box score. And you don't realize how he's filled up the stat sheet. 9 points in this one already.
Bruins actually finished that first half 10 of 14 after a slow start at the line. Again, similarly here in the second half. Freddie Cooper looking for the post entry. Sent in into Bilodeau. Good look opposite for three. Cooper can't connect.
Fullerton 2 of 13 now from behind the three-point line.
Andrews down early. Daly did his work. Offensive foul.
Good call by Scott Brown there. He didn't need to do it either. If he had just gone quick on that spin, which he did, he didn't need to wrap his arm around the defender. Got him with the element of surprise there.
Daly's second personal foul. Richard, and the Titans able to break the timeline.
Where Cooper caught that inbounds pass that time wasn't as deep in the corner. I'm sure that was talked about at halftime by Dedrick Taylor and his staff.
Rudolph, the freshman, driving baseline. Freddie Cooper turns down the three. Can nearly throw it away. Bilodeau last to touch it. 7 left to shoot for the Titans.
Cal State Fullerton can continue to hang around in this one if they can figure out that full court pressure at UCLA. Did a good job of breaking it that time.
Richard on rotation. Rudolph had it stripped. Here comes Sky Clark. Caught the handle. Spins out of the break. Johnson downhill. Could not scoop it in. After his own, though. Out to Clark. There's Daly. Another possession for UCLA.
Clark just took it from him. Reaches in there and just took it from the freshman. Goes the other way.
Cronin said the other night that Sky Clark's defense and Mac's offensive efficiency about the only positive from the guard spot so far through a month of the season.
Well, all the defensive metrics they keep. Sky Clark is off the charts with deflections and everything else he does on the defensive end.
And he wanted to go high-low. There it is, Bilodeau taking a lot of contact, and he drains it.
I like that, though. Don't wait for the second defender to come. Just catch and go.
It's going to be a 3-level score here in Westwood for the Bruins.
Well, we've seen 3 levels already tonight. Slipping screens, getting to the rim, that mid-game there. Knocked down a 3 early in the game, too.
Antoine Robinson surveys and feeds Vicentin. Zachary Vicentin backing down Bilodeau. Turned away from Daly as a second defender. Offensive rebound and a foul.
I'd say one thing that's going to be talked about if UCLA goes ahead and wins this game tonight is rebounding their defensive board. That's the 8th offensive rebound for Cal State Fullerton already. As you take it, Bilodeau does a nice job of getting himself back on balance before trying to make that shot.
John Mikey square to the line after the 3rd foul on Eric Daly. 2 of them coming here in the second half. Not even 3 minutes in, he's about to be subbed out. William Kyle in.
Well, here's the thing. You don't want this lack of defensive rebounding, UCLA, to make it a thing. You need to kind of nip it right now. Because if you're letting Cal State Fullerton get 8 offensive rebounds with 17 minutes to go in the game, it's going to happen when you get into Big Ten conference play.
Just right around
a whole different animal.
With
Yeah.
Washington and Oregon in the month of December. Follow up on Don's point, only 5 second chance points off those offensive rebounds. That's been a saving grace for Nick Cronin and Bruins.
But you're still giving teams,
I hear you.
Team an extra possession.
Andrew, knocked down.
And if Cal State Fullerton was a good three-point shooting team, it'd probably be a problem. Because we know the best time to shoot a three is after an offensive rebound. And the defense isn't set.
6 of Dylan Andrews' attempts have been from distance, and he's buried 2 of them. Richardson against Clark here at the wing. Denying that entry for a while to DeLuna. Backs down Bilodeau. O'Day. Across the handle. Here comes Clark on the breakout. Running with Dylan Andrews. Nice step through. And it spins home.
I like that. The slow down, Euro step through. Let the defender go by, finish on the other side. Nice play by Andrews in transition.
Now on the discard, Richardson turned down the clean one. Replay on. Robinson missed. Kobe Johnson's there for the ball.
See UCLA make a surge here and create some separation in this one. Kyle with the finish.
Johnson the assist. An official stoppage here with some sweat on the floor. We'll take it with them as the Bruins have cracked it open.
Dylan Andrews incorporating himself back into this UCLA lineup after missing a couple. Knocks down the three. And then in transition, UCLA another turnover. Andrews with the finish.
UCLA expanding its largest lead, 7 unanswered. They've held Fullerton without a field goal since the half. As we welcome you back to Pauley Pavilion, courtside with Don McClain, JB Long. How they've done it?
Yeah, I think so. You know, it's interesting. We've done a handful of games so far, and the big topic, at least for me, is how all these teams across the country are incorporating so many new players. And yes, some are more experienced than others, but it's a work in progress. And I think for UCLA, defensively, they're way ahead of the offense. But I think you just got to keep playing and keep, getting guys in spots and running different things to get them comfortable so that the offense can catch up to the defense. And I think there are so many teams across the country, not just in the Big Ten, that are dealing with that.
17 UCLA points off 13 Fullerton turnovers. Out of the break, a 3 for Davis Bynum, who was also shaken up. Good to see him return.
I was just going to say that. Didn't look good when he went out of the game, but good to see him back in.
At East St. Louis High School, where he teamed with another Fullerton Titan, Antoine Robinson, who we've introduced tonight. Robinson, a sophomore, Bynum, a freshman, and a foul.
Well, one difference in the first half was the free throw discrepancy. UCLA shooting a lot more than Fullerton. So Fullerton's going to stay in this thing, down 18 right now, to try and guard without fouling his man.
How bouncy is he? William Kyle III.
Really bouncy. I was talking to the other night. I have a feeling the more this goes along, the more he's going to have a role because of his athleticism and just understanding what his role is. And that's rebound, run, defend, block shots. Simple.
He told the media this week he's really invested in his conditioning. You can see that in his performance too. Johnson just continues to rip away possessions at the defensive end.
Hands are so good defensively.
He's got 5 steals now. Finding Andrews. Missed it all. Crashing in Kyle, now to the floor.
From Will Kyle. Hustle, effort plays, using his athleticism. Going back to Wednesday and tonight, I don't know how many dunks UCLA has on their baseline out of bounds, but it's a good amount. And miscommunication by Fullerton. Easy finish for Kyle.
No, Don, Nick Cronin said the other night after the win that he would like to get to the point where they could play Eric, Will, and Tyler Bilodeau at the same time in the front court. Could you see that happening sooner rather than later?
I could see it happening, but here's the thing. When you have this much depth and flexibility, you can match up with whoever you're playing. So when you get into the Big Ten and see some of these bigger teams, you may have to play those 3 together for a lot of minutes.
Now with the reach across, the deflection, Kyle doing it at both ends.
This is what I was saying earlier. So many guys earn more minutes, and you feel like Will Kyle Wednesday night and tonight earning some more minutes with his play.
Off the jab step, Richardson, tough shot. Weak side rebound, there's another on the O boards.
Not going to earn letting your guy get 2 offensive rebounds on the same possession.
Maybe 3 here. It's going over to the Bruins. I was just about to say the key to going big in the front court, Don, is having a backup big in case you encounter exhaustion or foul trouble. But we've not called Adimara's name yet until now.
Oh, by the way, we can also go to our 7-3 guy if we need him.
These could be important minutes for Mara. He had a couple of turnovers the other night in just 2 minutes of floor time, prompting Nick to say afterwards, if you're a die, and Dom Harris too is in this company, if you're fighting for minutes, that's the one thing you can't come into the game and do.
Turnovers and toughness. There's a lot of other things to what Mick Cronin values, but to me, those are the 2 biggest. Don't turn it over, and toughness.
There's toughness in the corner with Mack. Down to Bilodeau with 5. Surveying, waiting for that double. Able to get in the lane, and it pops out.
See him, I mentioned it in the first half. I'd like to see him go quick on that. Don't wait for that second guy to come, and if he doesn't come, go quicker instead of turning your back. He's so good facing up, Bilodeau.
Donovan Ode continues to shoot it really well in the first month of the season from distance for the Titans. Johnson working on a 12-point night. Throws it to the rim for Mara. Foul down low. Dyer was injured this offseason, so in a sense playing himself back into game mode.
He was out for a long time. But he can be a valuable piece to this UCLA team for that reason that we just saw. Screen, high ball screen, roll right to the front of the rim. Who can get to his catch radius, football term, JB, I know you appreciate that. But like that right there. You throw it where no one else can get it other than him.
A red zone weapon, Adimara. 2-point conversion.
That's right.
We'll leave it there. Save that for tomorrow. Caleb Brown at the foul line. Leaning into trouble. Senton throws it back to the perimeter and Ode. 10 to shoot. Richard on the attack. Bailout foul.
And I think the other guys on UCLA will get more used to, like that pass should be even higher. You know, that pass could have gotten tipped if the defender was alert. But if you throw it up there where only he can get it, that's what's going to happen. He's either going to score or the opposition's going to have to foul him.
Mara's big night, 16 points against Lehigh earlier in this homestand. Sounds like some fries are on the line, and they are denied by Keith Richard, now the least popular Titan in Pauley Pavilion.
I think if the score stays the way it is, JB, you mentioned it earlier, this would be big minutes for Adimara. Hopefully he can play a big rip here, stay on the court for 6-7 minutes.
Eric Daly Jr. playing through a bit of foul trouble, hits the back iron. O'Day pulls it down. Mikey Square, good look opposite. Richard couldn't hit it. Johnson is there for the board.
Dylan Andrews looking to initiate. See where they go here. See if Mara's involved.
Screen away for Mack. And now Kobe Johnson. There you go. Touch pass to the block.
Got a really good touch.
Mara finishes.
Got really good touch. We saw that in flashes last year. For a guy that big, really has nice touch from 6-7 feet in.
After a tough night Wednesday, that's a nice smile for Mara off the bench here in the second half. Back to 20 the lead. Dylan Andrews was at that help defender, nearly stole it, and stepped on the end line. And so we'll pause here with 10:36 to go in regulation. Adai Mara off the Bruin bench. Tomorrow, a football doubleheader kicks off the Hawkeyes against the Terps. Then the Badgers collide with the Huskers. Coverage begins with Big Ten Tailgate at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Maryland must win to keep bowl eligibility alive. Wisconsin win, and they're bowl eligible for the 23rd consecutive season. Nebraska needs a win in order to become bowl eligible for the first time since 16. How about Nebraska hoops tonight? Sounded like they put together a great 40 minutes at previously unbeaten Creighton to get a ranked win.
That's a big win, and we'll see what that win means come March, but nice hit to the resume for Nebraska.
Nike square across to Brown. Fullerton down 20 and nearly turning it over again. A foul as our official Tommy Nunez spotted it, and it's going over to UCLA. It'll be the 14th foul on the Titans. So Don, it was about this time the other night where Mick Cronin's group had put together 30 great minutes, got up to 28 their lead, and then from that point he said they got selfish and became everything he despises. Let's see if they can make amends on a Friday night.
Kind of playing the score too. Human nature is a tough thing to deal with when you're up 25-28, to continue to play with the same energy and discipline. But something to keep an eye on. Only 20 right now, not 28. Maybe we'll have their attention a little bit more.
Tough break for Keith Richard there, falling and traveling on that offensive rebound in transition. So no damage done off the Clark turnover. Back in the hands of Kobe Johnson in the half court. Back to Adai Mara, just scored from this block. With DeLuna defending, that is unstoppable. Not to earn it at the line.
I was talking the other night about the next step for Mara, and I know that they're working on it, is getting his base stronger so that he doesn't get knocked off his spot. And this is even better than last year. Like, he wouldn't have even been able to get to that spot last year, so at least he can do that. Now it's about being on balance when you're on 2 feet, getting ready to go up and shoot the ball. And not just for offense, defense, rebounding. Like, he's got to build that lower half strength so that he can withstand guys pushing on him, trying to knock him off his spot or getting to either board.
1 out of 2 at the line. A long rebound tracked down by Donovan O'Day, the junior from Arlington, Texas.
Because you use the word unstoppable, JB, like, no one's going to be able to get to his release point. So if he can be on balance when he goes up to score, he's going to score because he's got great touch and he's on balance.
O'Day along the baseline. Nice find. Brown. Now, the mystery for Mara wasn't whether or not he was going to get that shot up. It was whether he could get the post feed, gather himself,
and make it.
And then convert, yeah.
Well, because you don't make it. If you have good touch, you're probably going to make it, right? If you don't make it, it's because you're off balance. And so his problem has been, because of that strength issue, getting knocked off just enough to not make the shot because he's not on balance.
What a pass. Oh, he hammers that home from Kobe.
As a rim roller. Again, sometimes you got to throw it up to where no one can get it, but that time, miscommunication. Fullerton, easy dunk for Mara.
Another bullet point on what you've described as Kobe Johnson's best night as a Bruin, too.
Seems more involved in everything tonight, doesn't it?
Mara on both ends. Now he's running the floor. Mack to Daly. Kobe Johnson, extra pass.
Shot that one. Do you like the unselfishness? 2 extra passes that time for the easy Daly finish.
Daly's into double figures. Joining Villadell and Kobe Johnson as the 3 leading scorers for UCLA. Mikey square against a 7'3" Spaniard.
Activity by UCLA's defense.
He didn't block that one, but he may have altered it. Daly to a racing clock. Timeout Titans. A burst from the Bruins at the 8-minute mark, 9 unanswered. Led by the center off the bench, Adai Mara crushes 2. Big Ten basketball, we've got you covered coast to coast with conference news and notes, sponsored by Wendy's. The Penn State Nittany Lions scoring 80-plus points in 5 straight games. That's a program record. Ace Bailey at Rutgers having a lot of basketball luminaries talking about his run up draft boards. We mentioned the Nebraska win at 14 Creighton tonight, and the Ducks coming back from down a dozen in the second half in Corvallis for a rivalry win last night.
The talent just oozes out of Ace Bailey, and there's conversation about him maybe overtaking Cooper Flagg and being the #1 pick in the draft. I don't know about that. Flagg's got so much momentum, his experience with Team USA last summer and all the notoriety Flagg got, but this Ace Bailey, man, and that's the new thing, these 6'9", 6'10" guys that are hyper athletic. It used to be they were just hyper athletic, but now they got some skill. Bailey can shoot, he can put it on the deck. Going to be a wing in the NBA. Really good young player.
Fullerton turns it over. Mara throws it down and give the assist to Trent Perry.
See the impact Mara can have on a game, especially if the other team's got nobody to deal with them.
Mara has single-handedly matched the 9 points that Fullerton has since the half. He's made all 4 of his shots. His only miss led to free throws on a foul.
He could run the floor too. Mara finishing UCLA rolling here late in the second half.
Basketball on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Some of the damage that Adai Mara and the Bruins have done in the lane tonight. They're outscoring Fullerton 18-0 in the paint since the half.
Dominant second half on both ends. 17 turnovers now for Cal State Fullerton. The thing I like, JB, so far tonight, 18 assists on 23 makes for UCLA. So they're moving the ball, sharing it, making the extra pass.
13-1, their most recent run to expand their largest advantage. Kendrick DeLuna off the inbound for the Titans. Penn State winless on the road. Their only victory earlier this week at home. 62-61 against Idaho State. A foul leaving Sebastian Mack perplexed, sends Caleb Brown to the strike. UCLA leads this series 10-2. Fullerton secured a 3-point win here at UCLA when they last played in December of 19. Tonight's been a much different story.
I think you and I were here for that one.
You say so.
That's why I said it like that. I think you and I were here for that one because I'm not totally sure.
It lives on somewhere, YouTube maybe. Bruins are averaging better than 17 takeaways per game, and that's the number right now, 17 turnovers for Fullerton. So they're going to stay on that pace. Top 25 on defense in the nation so far. Mara fouled, otherwise, like you said, that would have been in his radius from Johnson.
UCLA now on this 27-point lead. Let's see if Mick Cronin stays with Perry and Mara, guys. Get a big chunk of minutes here. That's pretty much what you have to do, or he's going to score. Look at that.
Without fouling, able to go grab that possession.
Give it to him.
Perry looking his way. Missed it from the baseline, and there for the rebound by him.
I'm saying, JB, like with Bilodeau, do you see how he just caught it, went right shoulder, left hand quickly before anybody can get there? To see Bilodeau do a little bit more of that.
hits the brakes, finds Mikey square. Out to Rudolph. Freshman guard growing up in front of us here for Fullerton.
This is about the time. You mentioned Idaho State. This is about the time in the game where Idaho State started cutting into the lead. See if it happens again here tonight.
Stefanovic off Mick Cronin's bench, ready to check in next whistle. Perry takes a look. He's got 10 to shoot. Over to get it from Mara. Two-man game on that far side. This is Daly creating for himself. And a foul. Richard locked up Kobe Johnson. Tuesday, we've got a hoops doubleheader kicking off with Iowa against USC Upstate. Then the Bruins battle Southern Utah. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app.
So that's UCLA's next game, Tuesday night, and then they have a week off before they have Washington in here on December 3rd for their first Big Ten Conference game. So some time for UCLA, what they have on film now to look at, and have some time to get to work on stuff they need to work on.
Keith Richard from in front of his bench. There he goes up to claim the rebound. Here's the McDonald's All-American for three.
I think everyone's in agreement, JB, that this Trent Perry is going to be very good here at UCLA. A lot of depth at the guard position like we've been talking about, but he's gotten enough of an opportunity that you can see that once this kid figures it out, he's going to be really, really good.
I'll get your thought on what figuring it out entails in just a second. We got 5 minutes to kind of talk about that, but first, your point about the upcoming schedule. So, non-con tune-up Tuesday, Thanksgiving break, and then focus on conference play.
And focus on conference play, but then you're looking at past the first 2 conference games and look what's coming. Arizona and Phoenix, Carolina at the Garden, and Gonzaga here at the new Intuit Dome. So, big month here coming up for UCLA.
I know that's a home away from home for you. The Intuit Dome would have been your early impressions of that new facility in Inglewood.
The place is unbelievable, and all the hype surrounding it, all this stuff that they were doing and putting in, the halo board, the wall. And so you thought it would be really good. It's even better than you think. Like I've told people, whether you're a Clipper fan or not, just go see the building. It's really incredible.
As someone who played prep hoops in this state too, I love the personal touch to have all the high schools represented as well. Perry separates and scores.
These minutes can only help Trent Perry get confident on the offensive end. And you were going to ask me about what that means. Slow down. The game slows down. When you're a freshman, it's fast. You're trying to catch up to the speed of the game, so you're going too fast doing everything. But when it slows down, you make better decisions. You make more shots. You don't turn it over. And I think that's where Trent Perry will get, but it doesn't just happen overnight. You can't just watch film and do it. You need reps and live action out there to get to that point.
Great answer, and I had forgotten, having not worked with you yet this season, that sometimes I don't even have to ask the question, just the hint of having a question on my mind, and you'll raise it yourself.
Well, we've only done about 500 games together.
Well, that was clean from Perry. He's got help around him, too. There's been a lot of talent on the floor tonight. William Kyle III pours in another. Davis Bynum off glass. Tipped up and in. They're going to wipe it off. They're going the other way on a rebounding foul. So 3:45 left to cover. UCLA in total command, on its way to a 5th win as you take a look at the Hall of Fame inductees here in Pollard.
Network Studios, Ashley Adamson, Seth Davis, Stephen Bardo, Brock Vereen, and Rick Pizzo are going to join us in just a little bit for the big show. But UCLA putting the finishing touches on this one over Cal State Fullerton.
They look good. This is the type of fun game. I'm sure Mick Cronin will find something he doesn't like about this one, but it's going to take a lot more effort.
Got to handle your business in non-conference. The Bruins are doing that tonight.
70-39 with less than 4 to play. We'll get you back out to JB and Don. Enjoy the rest of the game. We'll see you afterwards for an hour-long Big Show. Don't miss it.
All right, thank you very much, Ashley Adamson. Back here at Pauley Pavilion, UCLA in control, 70-39. And we invite you to go behind the scenes with Deshaun Foster and the Bruins football team on an all-new journey. Big Ten football. It's Tuesday, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Here's a preview.
Bruins on me, Bruins on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Me being a Bruin, this school means a lot to me. This isn't just a job, it's not a stepping stone. This is my final destination.
Don, our buddy Greg Mraz sent me a note today that 26 years ago, Foster ran for 109 with 3 touchdowns and a receiving score in UCLA's 34-17 win over USC at the Rose Bowl. Now he's coaching in it. 2-6.
Wow, he's younger than me.
Why are you looking at me like we're supposed to be surprised by that?
Just when you throw out years like that, it kind of makes you remember. Yeah.
A miscue off the inbound. And Dominic Harris is in the game for Mick Cronin in UCLA. And a headband right in front of the Bruin bench.
Love the fact that Mara's still in there. He's gotten a big chunk of minutes here.
Perry for 3.
I'm telling you.
The freshman is coming on, albeit in stretch time here for UCLA, but he's been smooth.
It is so hard to develop a level of confidence as a true freshman coming in when there's expectations on the team. It's easier when you go to a team there's not really any expectation to win, and valuable time for him right now.
Kyle just barging in off the steal.
And you feel like watching Trent Perry, he's already on his way there in terms of that confidence in the game slowing down a little bit for him. He's 3 for 3, I believe, in the second half from the floor.
We're talking about the game slowing down for him. He plays at such a tempo, right? He plays under control. He's not sped up.
He's not a point guard that relies on his athleticism. He's a good athlete, but he doesn't rely on his athleticism to get things done. He relies on his shooting, on his decision making, his basketball IQ, and so he doesn't need to be sped up.
Mara turns it over there, looking for the high-low entry. Bynum checks his toes. Mara pulls it down. Gives it right back. Bynum swatted away.
That's something right there. There's a good example. Trent Perry's got to go back and get that ball. That turnover will be on Mara, but he was already running out. He's got to go get it. Go back to last possession. Give it up, get it back. Perry knocks down the 3. But that's a small example, but those are things you learn as a freshman. Especially an inexperienced guy like Mara, hasn't played a ton. Just go back and get it from him so that there isn't a turnover.
Kyle takes the foul. UCLA over the limit. And State of Success is sponsored by State Farm. Mara's done it all since the half. Davis Bynum to the line. UCLA trying to hold a 4th opponent this season below 50 for a game. She's at 43 with just under 2 minutes.
Think about that. And they're scoring, 80. It's not like this is a 56-52 affair. UCLA definitely playing faster this year. Picking up full, forcing the issue defensively to create more offense. Their defense has been really good.
It's Perry's first miss, and Zion Richardson at the other end for the Titans. Dom Harris a bucket here late. It's a big box to check. Someone came over as a sharpshooter. Perry pours it on.
That's his confidence. Not sure in the first couple games of the year he would have even shot that shot, but he's coming off looking for it now.
1 minute remaining, 1 minute.
Final minute, Pauley Pavilion. This homestand continues for UCLA ever since they've got back from that New Mexico loss. They've been a buzzsaw.
We had Trent Perry in our gym for a good stretch this summer with some of our other NIL guys. We call them college players that were going to play their college season, not the NBA pre-draft guys that we have earlier. And he's just got a steadiness about him, and he is a confident kid, but I don't care how confident you are in yourself, you still have to get yourself confident when you step up to this level. And playing against bigger, older guys and, you know, meaningful games. This isn't pickup out here. This is real games. And I kind of had a feeling that his learning curve would be a lot shorter than most, and it kind of looks like it's going to be here in Game 6 of his UCLA career.
At this juncture, Fullerton being held sub 30% shooting. UCLA has forced 21 turnovers. Another stifling performance from Mick Cronin's defense. Perry behind the Mara screen. All the way over to Stefanovic. Adai Mara. Up with his own. And Marissa with 23.2 to go.
My man Mara's tired.
But that's why you like this rip for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Rhythm and conditioning.
You can do all the treadmill, all the stuff you want at practice and all that. This is where you get yourself in really good condition, is by playing real minutes.
Because look at what is right around the corner for Tyler Bilodeau and company.
I like the fact that UCLA and Arizona have agreed to continue to play each other. Best rivalry on the West Coast for the last 30 years. So I'm happy that they're playing again this year.
Don, you mentioned 80 as the magic number. It's the 4th time this season the Bruins have hit that mark, something they only managed once last year in a difficult offensive season.
And again, I think they're just starting. I think this offense is going to continue to evolve, continue to get better. Guys are going to get more comfortable and become more efficient. Didn't shoot it great from behind the